Hey, what is up guys, it's Ben from BLWorks Studios here, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about Microsoft Flight Simulator. I made a video a little while back about some problems that I was having with the simulator, and I want to first of all address those problems and whether or not they were fixed, and then I also want to talk about what I like about the simulator and what I don't like about the simulator. So if you're still trying to decide whether you want to buy Microsoft Flight Simulator, whether just for fun or if you really want to get in deep with learning stuff about like actual, learning how to control planes and learning what all the buttons do and, talking to ATC and stuff like that. I'm going to try to help you make that decision just a little bit, just talking about whether the stuff that I like. So let's get into it. Okay, so first of all, I want to talk about the problems that I had with the flight simulator and whether or not they were fixed. So the first problem I had was a problem with the controls. Essentially, the simulator would not identify a control as an axis. Instead, it would just see it as a button. And this was actually a problem on my end. So my control, just to go over the problem, was basically when I did this, it would identify the control or the input as 100%. It was either 0 or 100, so it was a button, either on or off. It would not see it as like 10%. But this problem was actually my fault. I basically mapped the button wrong in the simulator. So once I changed that from a user on Reddit who actually told me the problem, once I changed that, it worked perfectly for a little while. But then there was a new problem where the simulator would crash randomly. And obviously, I'm not causing the crash. And this problem was pretty popular. It was a lot of people were having this issue. And now I gave it some time, hoping that maybe an update would fix it. And then upon reading further into it, I saw that it could be a driver issue with your GPU or graphics card. And so I went ahead and updated those drivers as well. And after a little while and the driver update, it hasn't crashed for me since. Now, sadly, I'm not sure if it was an update that did this or the driver update, but it does now work. So if you're having that problem, you can try a driver update. Now I want to talk about what I like about the simulator. Okay, so first of all, I really like the graphics. Obviously, the graphics were a very popular point of the game. They had amazing graphics, and I really like them. I haven't seen, I mean, there's a few areas where, the graphics are a little bit poor, but obviously they can't have an amazing model of the entire world. The game would just be too big. So, the graphics are really good. I've been mainly flying in the US, but I've started moving to like the Swiss Alps and like the south of France and stuff like that, and it's really good. The textures are really nice, the water, the reflections, the shadows in the cockpit and stuff. Even the textures of like the seats in the planes are really crisp and stuff. So the game really looks good. But for if you are planning on buying this, you'll definitely want to look at some other videos about recommended specs. So obviously, they have the minimum specifications for what is the minimum your computer has, power levels, CPU wise, and stuff like that. But then there's also the recommended specs, and I would just look a little deeper into it just to see if you really want to run this at a high quality, at like a super high quality. You're going to need a really good PC in order to do that. Next, I want to talk about the diversity in the game. So, basically, the game came out and it was pretty popular. It was popular for, first of all, because of the graphics, and also because of there's a lot of hype around it. I forget when the last one came out, but it had been a long time since Microsoft had released a flight simulator. But there's this diversity in the game where if you buy it, you can fly around for fun. You can just fly. You don't have to follow any charts. You can, do flips and stuff like that and barrel rolls. But you can also have really get really nitty gritty with all the controls, plotting in your flight plan and talking to ATC, autopilot, all that stuff. You can really get into it with all that, and the game allows for a lot of controls like yokes and rudder pedals and stuff like that. You can really get in there and learn the in-depth stuff about flying airplanes and stuff, but you can also just mess around with it. So I really like that they sort of have these both options, and that's one of the reasons I think that Microsoft Flight Simulator does have a bit of a leg up on X-Plane 11, which is its main competitor, which is basically that it's more fun to fly around just for fun, right? Because Microsoft Flight Simulator has the better graphics. So you can fly to your house and stuff, you can fly to Paris and, just all these really cool landmarks, and you can see them in really high quality. Whereas in X-Plane 11, it wouldn't be that high quality, so you would be more inclined to focus on just the airplane and all those controls. So lastly, I want to talk about what I don't like about the simulator. So first of all, the sensitivity controls. So this is the smaller thing, but the controls for adjusting the sensitivity, if there are people that are just playing for fun, they're not going to want to, really dive into the sensitivity, tuning every little thing. They're just going to, take one slider and adjust it so that when they, they're rolling, it's just a little less sensitive. And the controls for sensitivity are pretty complicated. I think there's several different little bars that you can adjust. There's like dead zone and then like extreme dead zone or something like that. And it would be cool if Microsoft could possibly make an option for simple sensitivity options, and then just click a button that says advanced sensitivity options, and you can really tweak the smaller controls. I think that would be a cool thing to implement, and it took a while for me to get a hang of the sensitivity controls, but that's, like I said, just a smaller thing. And next is the add-ons. So recently Microsoft actually released, I believe, one of the first paid add-ons from that was released by, I'm going to pronounce this wrong, I think it's Asobo, which is one of the main developers of the game. And it's the CRJ 550 and 700. Now, this add-on is around $60 US, which is as much as I paid for the game. So add-ons for this are extremely expensive. Some planes, like there was a Boeing 737 made by a third party, and I think it was like $25, and I don't know if it was actually that great of a plane, but so yeah. So just be on the lookout. Just know that add-ons for this game are pretty expensive, and probably you're going to have what you see is what you get. So with the standard version, you're probably just going to stick with that. You're not going to be spending $60 just to get 2 more planes. So anyhow, I want to know your thoughts about the game. If you have any, if you've been playing it, what are your thoughts on it? And yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out. Bye.